right, Kevin. Tell us about, why don't you finish up that big saga for us?
So we drove all the way up to Chicago from Dallas. Got there at noon on time. Very difficult entry driving through Chicago traffic. The approach to this place, even though it's a warehouse with, loads coming and going so fast, we had to drive through 7 miles of city town traffic, stoplights and all that stuff on a Friday, because that's the only approach to this place. So even though there's an interstate like right beside it, there are no exits. It's a toll highway. There's no way for you to get real close and then just take the exit and you're there. So 7 miles of town driving. So we get there on time, and it's a small yard. There's trucks coming and going like crazy. And if one guy takes, more than 2 minutes to get into his spot and get out of the way, then traffic backs up all the way out to the street. I get to the guard shack. There's a yard guy pulling a trailer, parking it outside the gate. Finally get to the gate. The guard's like making a call, and here you got to load. Okay, go to 38. I said, go to 38. Yep, just go to 38. So I pull in and I park on the side of the lot because it's a drop. It's not a live unload. And usually when they tell you, when it's a drop, you're gonna go to a shipping door. And so she'll say 38. I assume there was a shipping door that I should be going to next to it. So I stopped and I got out of the truck and I walked over and I saw 38 was a dock and there was no door next to it or anything like that. So I'm like, oh, okay. So they expect me to open the doors on my trailer, break the seal, back up to that dock. Okay, now I understand. In the meantime, the guy behind me came in, a day cab, obviously somebody who'd been there before and knew to hustle. He comes in and he pulls up to my dock, 38, and backs in. So now, because I took a minute to look at the situation, I lost my spot. This guy, I don't know, I don't think he was assigned that door. I think he just was told to find an empty one. So he grabbed that one. So now I move over closer to him and thinking, well, is he pulling out? What's he doing? So I get out and I go and look for the shipping door. There's a door farther down. I go in and the driver is in there and he's coming out. And I go in. There's a security guy there. I'm like, I got a load. I was supposed to pull into 38. And the other driver is just going out. He goes, oh, am I in your spot? I said, yeah, I was told to take 38. Security guy looks at me. He says, well, he's there, just whichever one opens up next, let me check. He says, oh, look, 41's about to open up. So as soon as the yard guy pulls the trailer out of 41, you can pull into 41. I said, okay, that's what I'll do. And do you get the paperwork? He says, no, once you're in, you unhook and go to the shipping office. I said, okay, and I'm picking up my next load here too. I was just assigned my next load from the same place going back out. So now it's good. I don't have to find an empty in this mayhem, this small yard that's got trucks running in and out like crazy. Okay, good. So I go back to my truck. 41 is occupied. I back up enough that the yard guy can clear it.
Well, we had to ask him to do it.
Well, because
no
they're zipping back and forth.
Yeah.
So the yard guy's like, what do you need? I said, 41. I need you to move the trailer out of there. Oh, okay. He tells me to back up more, and then he goes to 43, hooks up to a trailer. And then another yard guy comes along, and he's talking to this guy, and then he goes to 41 and pulls the trailer out of 41. And then the first guy says, okay, that's 41. I'll get out of your way, and he moves out. So now I'm like, Jesus, this is taking a long time. There's a lot of confusion. People aren't getting the message of what they're supposed to do. So finally, I open my doors, break the seal, pull up, back in, get it in there nice, right to the dock, unhook my trailer, bobtail over to the office. Okay, now I looked at my next load is at the exact same place, but it said the appointment is 3 o'clock and it's preload. It's not a live load or anything, but the appointment is 3 o'clock. So I guess that's when I was supposed to pick up the trailer. I'm praying that the trailer's already loaded I can just go get it and get the hell out of there, right? Nope. I go into the shipping office, give them my paperwork, signed, everything else. Okay, good. This load's finished. I said, now my next load, here's the number. They check, like, no, that's not loaded yet. It says 3 o'clock, you know, try us a little before 3. Give us a call. So I get the phone number, and I said, you don't want me staying in this yard, do you? Because there's obviously a lot of traffic in and out. There's really no place for you to sit and wait. She says, no, you can't stay here. So, okay, get back in the truck, make a couple of phone calls. We find a restaurant just at the end of the street that's got a parking lot big enough for trucks to come in. So we head up there, have a nice lunch. Called the office in Omaha. Yeah, your appointment's at 3, so just wait there. You know, you don't need an empty or anything. Just pick up that load when it's ready. Yep, that's what I'll do. So they've already scheduled me because they were really adamant that we get that load delivered at noon. And now they're giving me my next load at the same place that's not going to be ready till 3. So they already knew they were going to have me there for 3 hours.
Wasting your time.
Well,
unpaid time.
so we go have lunch. Did the paperwork for the first load. Make sure we get paid for it. All that's done. Take our time having lunch. Had to kill some time there. Watch some of the Olympics. Called the customer again just before 3 o'clock, thinking, okay, gonna be ready. We'll get this load, get the heck out of here.
Hey, tell people what the beeping is.
The beeping is the transponder saying that the weigh station up there has cleared us to bypass. We don't have to go in and get weighed.
Because it's closed.
It's closed.
Oh, and I'm sorry, but I gotta swing the camera.
Sure,
Because
where
look
are
at
we?
this exciting thing here now. There's the closed weigh station. And what's this?
Welcome to Ohio.
Da, 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 da. All right. Welcome. Okay. Back to your story, Kevin.
Back to the story. Called the customer. Yeah, that trailer's not loaded yet. Actually, the manager wants to hold it longer because it's doesn't hardly have anything in it. This is an expediting warehouse. They take loads from different places, rearrange them, put them on other trailers, send them to other places. So it's not like you're dealing with one customer. Like Walmart would have that trailer loaded before you even got there.
Hopefully.
And they know where it's going, and they're not waiting to, you know, these guys are trying to put enough stuff in the trailer to make it worthwhile for it to go to the next place. And it wasn't happening. So they're like, well, we need another hour or two. The manager wants to hold it for a while longer, but are you here? I said, yeah, we're right up the street at the restaurant, you know, we're waiting. Oh, okay, listen, come at 4 o'clock. Call, you know, like come just, you could call in 45 minutes, but, you know, you could just come here in an hour and go to the office and ask them if it's ready. I said, all right, so now we got to kill another hour. So we go there at 4 o'clock. Actually got kicked out of the restaurant. It was closing. Had to leave anyway. And get there and go in the office and, oh, we're not quite done loading that trailer yet. Almost done, but you can go over to dock 38. Oh, that must have been the trailer that took my spot 4 hours ago. Yeah, back to dock 38. You can hook up and just watch the light. The light next to the dock is flashing red, meaning it's being loaded. When it turns to green, you can pull out, come back to the office here and get the paperwork. Okay. So we do that. We sit there and wait. It's like almost 4:30. So I pull out, close the doors, park by the office, go in there, and they give me the paperwork. And I look it over. Make sure you look over the paperwork. They had the wrong, they had the trailer number wrong by 1 digit, so probably somebody wrote it wrong or something. There's they had 87. The last 2 digits were 87, but the trailer was 67. I said that's wrong, you know, and you don't want to show up at the next place and something's wrong with the like you got the wrong number on the trailer, and they, you know, they might not accept it or think it's been tampered with or something. So make sure that's right before you leave. And that's why you check your seal number too before you leave. It's got to be written on the bill of lading, and you got to check that it's right on the trailer. So she had to redo the paperwork. She had to come out with the seal the trailer. I had to look at the seal and check it against the bill. And all this time we're standing out there in the freezing cold, windy Chicago weather with trucks zipping back and forth. Mayhem in that parking lot. And everything was good, so finally got to leave there a little after 4:30. And I had gone off duty when I realized that we were going to be there a while, so it split the clock. Otherwise, my clock would have stopped about 7:45, I think it was. So I would have only had like 3 hours left to drive. So I was prepared for the fact that we would have to wait a while at least. So after 2 hours off duty, your clock will split and it'll save the time that's left until later, rather than your clock running out because you sat there for so long. So we hit the road. Actually took a different route going out because coming in, like I said, we had like 7 miles of city traffic, but going the other way, you could drive for about 3 miles and get on a different interstate. So I managed to do that, which was kind of crazy. And then 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon in Chicago, we hit several traffic jams, worked our way out of the city.
Oh, we saw a flipped truck.
Saw a flipped trailer at one of the ramps on the other side. That didn't hold us back, but it sure held back a lot of other people. That was really bad. And we drove until 7:45. By then we were into Indiana, so we'd gone to Eastern time, so it's actually 8:45 now. And our clock would have run out at that time, but because I split it, we weren't in violation. But I still had 2 hours left on the driving clock, and I was not going to continue because it would not have gotten us to the destination any sooner. We're driving to Columbus, Ohio. It's a 6-hour ride from Chicago. And we have to take a 10-hour break in between. If I had gone those other 2 hours, like driven my clock completely out, we still would have had to stop for 10 hours and then continued the journey the next morning. So my ETA, I figured, was about 12 o'clock in Columbus, Eastern time. You got to take into account that hour difference too when you're, before you leave, when you're planning your trip. So my ETA at noon, and appointment time for the ETA was 9 o'clock in the morning. And I knew there was no way I could make it. I might have, if they'd had the load ready at noon when I was there originally. Could have come real close if I'd gotten away at 3 o'clock when it was supposed to be ready, but the extra delay, that held us back way too much.
But then you got a message.
Then I when we stopped for the night, I got a message saying, hey, any chance you can still make that 9 o'clock arrival? And I answered, nope, we're out of hours. And they didn't finish loading us till 4:30. So I let my ETA stand as it was. Like I said, if whether I stopped at 8:45 or 10:45 that night, I still needed to take a 10-hour rest. I would have woke up the next day and still had so many hours left to drive, whether it was earlier or later. It didn't matter. Like, when we're going to get there, that's when we're going to get there. The only way to get it there quicker is if we would have given the load to a team or somebody who had enough hours to drive all night. And that's fine with me, but it was up to them to plan and schedule that and arrange it. It's not my concern. And the other thing they could do is just let the customer know we're going to be late, and it's because they were late giving the load to us.
Yeah.
So I guess they worked that out, because I didn't get any message afterwards or this morning saying, split the load or give it to somebody else, something like that. I did get a message saying, punch in your ETA again. In other words, they're hoping I somehow was going to shave an hour off of that time or something like that. But right now I see my ETA is 11:30. So I did have to stop for fuel this morning, and that took a little bit of time.
And you have icy conditions.
I got icy conditions. It's snowing. It's windy. I've got ice in my windshield. I'm worried about hitting an ice patch on the road, so I'm doing the speed limit, but I'm being very cautious too, slowing down if I see something I don't like. That's the story of yesterday and today, I guess, because the load we picked up at the same place we're going to deliver this morning in
but it is a separate
couple
video.
hours.
This is not
Okay.
This is to conclude yesterday's video.
Yeah. And we're running out of hours on our 70-hour clock too. We're going to start our reset this afternoon and take tomorrow off.
Anyway, so if you got any valuable information or just enjoyed being with us on this crazy day, hey, give us a thumbs up, please. And you can put your comments and questions below. And hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to keep traveling with us, discovering the roads of America and learning about trucking. And with that, we wish you a warm, safe day with love from Kevin and Tanya. Bye.
Bye-bye.